Even before Prohibition, because of the U.S. government's alcohol tax, poor farmers and immigrants throughout the South took to brewing batches of corn whiskey to sell for extra money. When Prohibition was enacted, the demand for moonshine skyrocketed, and a black market economy was born. The runners would deliver their product in souped-up cars that could outrun the G-men. Tonight, we celebrate that heritage, those roots, as the Global SimRacing Channel brings you live as it happens, green flag to Victory Donuts coverage of the Bootleg Racing League's Round 9 from Lucas Oil Speedway. Hello, everyone. And yes, while corn may be the main ingredient for moonshine, tonight we come to you from Wheatland. A big show-me state welcome to another GSRC broadcast with Taylor Burris on assignment, soup and crackers together again. Sean Crackers Ambrose, kind enough to slide over into the Abdul-Jabbar seat, allowing yours truly, Bill Soup Zahn, to settle into the Peter Graves chair as together we bring you our Word's Eye view. Amjad Yaman has director duties, armed with cameras located, aimed, zoomed, and focused by the Ansel Adams of iRacing, Dougie Beard. Okay, the history lesson over, the late 70s movie references have been played. It's time to get down to specifics, and let's start by having Crackers talk about tonight's racetrack.
Soup, you brought up the late 70s. You remember when they used to have those night before Indy races here, the old USAC races they used to have? I don't know, late 60s, early 70s. I remember that. Always something to look forward on that Saturday night before the Indy 500. You know, that's how long they've been racing here, since 1958, when a bunch of businessmen got together and, like, for $2,500 each, or it was like $2,500, $5,000, all chipped in, bought this land and built this facility. And Soup, it says 0.69 miles. Well, that's a nice rounding job there on the actual dimensions of the track, because, well, they say it's actually 0.686 miles. So I don't know, 4 turns. You see it there on screen. This is a classic bull ring oval, 12 degrees in the turns. We've got a little bit of banking, not much, a little bit more than Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which sits about 10 miles to the west, where they have 9-degree banking in those turns there, Soup. But the SK Modified, well suited for this track, although it's not officially run here in the past. They run a different bit of a modified here, one that actually has radial tires on it, much like you see out on the West Coast, maybe in the Bakersfield area, like our good friend Jason Galvin runs. I think they call it something like an unlimited spec modified or something like that. But this SK Modified here at Lucas Oil Raceway, of course, some may remember it, Soup, as Indianapolis Raceway Park back a long time ago. Also home of a great drag strip, one of the most famous drag strips in the United States, and home of the NHRA for many, many years. Soup, enough about the track as we ride on board, watch what it's like to get a lap around here at, I almost called it IRP, Lucas Oil Raceway. Why don't we now look at the points, as we've got a pretty good battle here going with now just a couple races left on the schedule. And, well, there sits J.R. Shepard, not out of reach. Donnie Moore's got a shot at him. Matt Shinotsky a little bit longer of a shot. They're going to need a lot of bad luck for J.R. Shepard to maybe take advantage of that. He is here tonight, so he'll be racing and he'll be competing. We've got 16 drivers. Matt Shinotsky and his brother Tim, who's had a great season, has continued to climb up the board, sits now just 9 points behind his brother Brian Dean. Well, he was the one that fell back a couple points, but he's still in this. So really, the top 5 still very much in play here, with now a couple races to go in the season, Soup, a few races, including tonight. Why don't you talk about the race and the SK Modified? Why don't you tell us a little bit about the details of tonight's event?
So let's be a little more precise. It is this one and 2 more, as we are lap around 9 of 11. Now we're going 100 laps. So if you use Cracker's race description there, I guess we're going not quite 69 miles. We're going 68.6 miles should do it as we go all the way around 100 times. Here's the big one. No tires allowed here. You can come on in, get some damage fixed, but do not change those tires or you'll get a stiff penalty, and I don't think you get scored at all. Fixed setups, that makes it easy for everybody just to come on in. We're all racing the same thing. Hey, lucky dog, you're never out of this one. One fast repair, and then the grid inverts based on the top 10 from the previous race. So that's always interesting. You don't see the same guy going wire to wire to wire to wire the entire season. Although if you looked at the points, you would think J.R. Shepherd doing a pretty good job at doing that. But you never know how things are going to happen here. He's got to work at it.
Yeah, he does. And right now in practice, not showing his hand too much. He's only 5th on the board. It's actually Kurt Smith up top, the Indiana native, sitting there. No great surprise, Soup, that a guy from Indiana leads the field right now in practice with a 21.5. And that's hustling around here. I think the all-time track record is in some kind of insane little short track car, and it's like just a high 18-second lap, Soup. So give you an idea what the SK Modified throws down here. A lot and pretty fast. In fact, it's just maybe tenths of a second off of a Craftsman truck or World Camping Series truck. Can't remember the series.
Practice going on right now. And of course, there is no qualifying because it's based on the previous race results. All right, now I'm confused, because I've been traveling around a lot today. I thought we were in Wheatland, Missouri. We're not. This is right next to Indy. Is that what you're telling me? It's the
yes, Soup. It's 10 miles from Indianapolis.
I gotta talk to my travel agent then. So we're all right.
Yeah.
It's one of those I love you Detroit type situations there.
Yeah, well, we're just on the other side of town here from the old 16th Street there.
I know where we are now. Clearly, I don't know why I thought I was in Missouri. Well, there you go.
Well, they wouldn't change the name on you to Lucas Oil Raceway, Soup. It's a little easier when it was Indianapolis Raceway Park, right?
Another reason why sponsors should not be tacked onto everything in the world. I had a nectarine today that was sponsored by Lucas Oil. Lucas Oil nectarine. So annoying.
Now, one thing I'm watching here and noticing in the practice, the line right now looks like it's up against the wall. So a lot of these drivers trying that high, wide, and handsome line, and it seems to be where the speed is at here early. What does that mean? Well, I think we've got a pretty good scenario here where we're going to have a lot of side-by-side racing here tonight, and a lot of moves maybe happening from the upper groove this evening.
What's your guess on tire wear? Is this like a Catwoman track where wears rubber a lot, or is this going to be kind of kind on the tire?
Well, the conditions are a little more favorable this evening. We've got a little bit more banking than we generally see from week to week at the 12 degrees that we talked about when we were talking about the track. I think, Soup, if you don't beat them up too bad, then you might be okay late in the race. And we've got several drivers in this field who know how to play this game. They've been doing it for a long time. And when I mean game, I mean the strategy that it takes to get through one of these 100-lap races without having to change the tires. And, well, J.R. Shepherd, Donnie Moore, guys like that, they've got this figured out. John Hine, the Shinosky brothers, they translate their real-world experience into this SK Modified. And, if you ride this car too hard off that right rear, you get a little too much tightened up, then, you're going to have trouble with the tires. But I think most everybody tonight is in for a pretty good ride. Like I said, the weather, not too bad. It's only 70 degrees on track, 71 degrees on track. So I think we're in good shape here, Soup, for a great race this evening. Who knows? We might even get one of these. And Bootleg has pulled this off a couple times already this season, Soup. A couple of green flag wire-to-wire races. And, this is the kind of track that might happen at. A little bit of room to get around. You've got really 3 racing groups. We could see 3 wide at times this evening. So look forward to it. I talked about 16 earlier. We're up to 19 drivers, and that's about what we've been seeing. Dwayne Burns, might as well talk about him. Is he on track yet? Dwayne's on track, I think. And
Yeah.
Dwayne right now is the first, making his debut, the first Australian driver in the Bootleg Racing League, making his debut tonight. So welcome aboard, Dwayne Burns. And Dwayne wheeling his SK around here in practice and doing it right now. He's 12th in the field right now in practice. So we'll see what he's got here when we get to racing. But the number 19 is with us, and hopefully he's here to stay soon.
Well, it's tougher on those guys that are south of the equator to oval race because of the Coriolis effect. They have to race clockwise or clockwise down there.
We're going to the Coriolis effect. Why did I know this? I had a feeling this was coming. I really don't think that works.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess we'll need to test it at some point. Guess I'm going to have to get down to Australia and figure it out.
Yeah, no, but 18 cars, that is a nice field. You talked about going green. Pull back the curtain here at GSRC. One of the commentators has paid for a pay-per-view boxing match, so you would like this thing to wrap up before the main event, if that is possible. Just saying.
You know, Sue, I know you appreciate a little pugilism, and I happen to see that fight was on this evening, and I'm here to tell you, Soup, I don't think they'll be touching gloves for another 3 hours. Do you?
Yeah, that's good. Well, I hope not. I do have the dang contraption. What do they call that? The VCR, whatever that thing is called.
They don't call them that anymore either.
I don't know what it was. That caution picking thing. I pressed the right button. I think we're okay, but I always worry. Well, we'll focus our attention here at the track. Boy, it's good to be back on one of these bootleg broadcasts.
Soup,
I missed it.
Used to race in the Bootleg Racing League at one time. The old Hams Beer SK Modified.
Hams Beer special out there. Yes, I was racing at the back of the pack, and then all of a sudden I found myself, due to yellow flags, with people behind me. That was kind of scary. Something that you don't realize, you need to practice starting. I didn't realize that this is how you get going on restarts. It's an important factor in this series.
Yeah, it is, Soup. It is very important. And listen, if you're good at restarts, you've got a really great chance of winning the race because the clean air is beneficial to this SK Modified, the way it turns, the way it rotates through the turns. Very, very important. If you've got good air in front of you, fighting from behind, generally the toughest way to get through here and get to victory lane.
2 gears in one. Well, not counting reverse. I don't even know if there is reverse.
Yes,
2 gears
reverse.
In one of these. Is there? So, okay, 2 forward gears and 1 backwards gear, right?
Right. Yes, and that's basically that's all you need. And so that first gear is really a granny gear. That second gear is the one you'll be riding in all night. Yeah, you won't see these cars doing any shifting. I know there's a couple people out there in the chat that are maybe concerned whether or not these guys are shifting. I can assure you they're not. He hasn't asked yet, but he probably will.
Yeah. Good field here today. J.R. Shepherd, of course, the odds-on favorite to win any one of these events. He's been doing it for a long time. Lots of championships.
JR's won a few. He's won a few races in this league, Sue.
You know, when the majors goes over to their series, as practice is done, we'll get to the starting grid. We got to convince some of these guys to go over and race on those specialty events when they get to these. We'd love to see what J.R. Shepherd can do.
You know, one of those majors drivers is here. That's Mark Herzog, the Alliance driver in his number 57 SK Modified. Boy. Yeah, and Mark has been new this season. Been running since the first race, and he's had a little bit of success. He's starting to figure out the SK just a little bit, Soup.
Well, let's give you the starting grid right now. So they're going around twice. We'll do it a row at a time. Kenny Kitty on the front row. He's going to be inside of J.R. Shepherd.
All right, we'll go down to row 2. It's going to be Dustin Powers in the number 25 and Michael DiCarlo in his number 77 SK Modified.
Name that I'm going to get familiar with, Chris Bassini in 5th position. He's going to be flanked by longtime veteran Donnie Moore.
And look at this brotherly love on row 4. Matt Shinoski in the double aught, and in the 07, Tim Shinoski on his outside.
One of them more handsome than the other. One of them keeps a cleaner room than the other one. Todd Liston is in the 9th position. He's going to be flanked by Kurt Smith.
All right, row 6, going to be James Lowe in the number 99 and Joshua Banks, the other Virginia driver there, right next to him in the number 36.
In the Baker's Dozen position, it's Mr. Lucky from Kentucky, Lowell Jewell. He's going to be sided by Mark Herzog.
All right, row 8, Chris Wolfson, Justin Allen, another Virginia driver.
Dwayne Burns in 17th, inside of Mike Allen.
All right, and 20. We got an even 20 tonight. Row 10, John Hines, Sarah Maria Spiller is back with us this evening.
Is it safe to assume that, now I'm new to the series, I haven't been here, is it safe to assume that Sarah Maria is indeed a female type human?
Yes,
okay.
yes, she is.
Sometimes I get fooled by those Spanish names. They do that to me sometime, and Father Juanipro Serra comes to mind. He was a man as well. All right, 20 names here. Let's go racing on a Saturday night. Sam Cooke used to sing another Saturday night, and I ain't got nobody. I got some money because I just got paid. Well, he must not have known about the Bootleg Racing League. Lot of company here. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug makes you want to holler, hi-da-ho! It is Kenny Kibbe leading the Stampede down into the first corner. J.R. Shepard tucks in behind in second. They get it sorted out behind.
Yeah, and already it's Chris Piscini trying to get a spot away from Michael DiCarlo, and he does it. Piscini already up to 4th, quick. Everybody behind him stacking up 3 wide through turn 3, turn 4.
Oh, my goodness. There's the yellow.
Oh, boy. Chris Wolfson, I think, got the worst of that. And it was contact between him and Dwayne Burns, Sue. The number 19. Looked like it was maybe a little bit tight off the turn and rolled up into Wolfson. Well, on board with Dwayne here, Sue.
Yeah, I think we had one driver that was getting up in the wall, and that kind of checked everybody up a little bit. They get together, and then it's an octopus putting on socks from there on. A lot of things going everywhere.
You know, we filled up quick. Again, you know, when practice started, there weren't many here. And, boy, they got together and got 20 cars here on track. Now, DiCarlo's had to come in. He's rolling down pit lane now. Dwayne Burns is going to come in. They do have the option to take that spare car off the truck if, well, if they've got just too much damage to continue. So
no, way too early to do that unless your car is undrivable. You're going to need that later.
Or at least I would hope you don't need it.
Sit back there, ride around in the back a little bit, and save that ace in the hole to when you actually need your ace. Looking at some hard chargers. Kurt Smith up a couple spots. Up in 8th.
Kurt did get a good run, and remember, he was awful fast in practice there for a while. So Kurt definitely has the speed in his modified tonight. Tim Shinosky picked up a couple spots. Matt's still right behind him.
That is the beauty of this format, and I'm telling you, I love this format where the grid is set from the previous results. Some of the best NASCAR races that I have ever seen have happened when qualifying has been rained out and they grid them up by points because you don't really know what you got, and some of the faster drivers have to work their way through the field. It is exciting, and that's kind of what you get here today.
Well, Soup, you know what a lot of the local short tracks do, and I'm sure you'll be a fan of and understand what I'm talking about, but a handicapping system a lot of times goes into play. I know my home track back in Riverhead, New York, the world famous Riverhead Raceway. Shout out to all the Riverhead Raceway fans watching. But yeah, they do what was the word I was using there, Soup?
Handicap?
Handicap system. Thank you.
I'm here to help.
I was gonna say, I wanted to say wagering system, Soup, but no. Yeah, a handicap system, and well, they do it a little bit differently here in the Bootleg Racing League, but you know, it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same concept.
Okay, out in front in one of my favorite numbered cars, number 14. Y'all know who it sends memories back for me. Kenny Kibbe out in front. Boy, they are too wide. That's the rule here in the Bootleg Racing League. Too wide, and that makes those restarts exciting. Look,
JR getting a big run there on the top around Dustin Powers, Soup.
Dustin Powers, he tried to make that inside line work in that fluorescent blue number 25. Stuck on the inside. That's kind of not what you would think, as the outside line seems to be the line of choice. Now it's Chris Piscini going around in the 15 on the top side.
Ooh, Piscini almost contact there between him and the 25. Dustin Powers. Powers gets out of it and avoids the contact, but now that brings in Donnie Moore all over the bumper of Dustin Powers. Oh, and sliding through the field back there. Who is that? Tim Shinosky with trouble. I'm sorry, it was Todd Liston. My bad. The 87.
Boy, they are really working. The guys on the low side are struggling to find a home up top. One of those guys, Josh Banks, back in 9th position. I hear a little more bumping and banging going on back there. Josh Banks stuck in 9th, almost drifts up into Matt Shinowski. What fun racing here.
Soup, Kurt Smith still moving up there in 7th. He's picked up another one now. He's in a good battle with James Lowe.
And as that goes on, am I looking at up here a pass for the lead? I believe so.
Oh, the caution's out. Oh, no, and it was Todd Liston. Oh, no, Liston in the fence. He makes contact with Lowell Jewell, or Lowell made contact with him, one or the other, and Liston goes for a wild ride here.
My goodness. Boy, got some hang time on that one.
Boy, he really did. Soup, good luck counting the rolls on that one.
Now, what was interesting is that was going on. J.R. Shepard had just made a pass for the lead. I'm not sure if iRacing is going to credit him. I think they are. I think we're going to have a new leader when it's said and done, yeah.
And we're going to go on board Mike Allen here. I'm sorry, Justin Allen, my bad. Justin just with a hard hit. That car back in the pits.
Now we know the Sinoskis are brothers. Do we know about the Allens, Mike and Justin, relations? One would assume.
Actually, that is father and son, if I remember correctly, Soup. Yes, Mike and Justin, that's father and son. I believe Mike is the father and Justin is the son.
I'm pulling for the dad if I have my choice. Just...
Well, Mike was here first. I will tell you that. So,
come on, Pops.
Somebody's got to correct me if I'm wrong, please. Somebody out in the chat save me, because I've asked Mike before.
Well, I don't get to do a lot of these Bootleg Racing League events, but when I do, it seems like I got a little bit of deja vu happening here. J.R. Shepard out in front of the field.
Yeah.
On the back of his car, it says Quick Lane. I think that's something he knows how to find. There it is. Kenny Kibbe in second.
And Kibbe's not going anywhere. Don't worry. He'll be up here for a while, so now watch out for the Chris Piscini. He's still looking for his first win here in the league. That New York driver knows his way around a short track and a modified.
All our viewers with Lebanese descent, they hear Kenny Kibbe. A kibbe is a traditional Lebanese food made with lamb and pine nuts and cracked wheat. Good stuff. You can have it raw. You can bake it up. Check it out.
That actually sounds really good.
It is really good. And I know we have a large Lebanese viewership, so I'm sure that'll come in handy there. Racing in the number 14 car.
All right, the lights are off on the pace car, Soup. This field is set and just about ready to get back to action here.
Let's see what the top line can do. Shepard chose the low line. Oh, he gets on the throttle and gets some bite. He's going.
He really is, Soup. That was a heck of a jump. Here comes Piscini, trying to take that second spot away from Kibbe.
We're banging in the back.
Yeah, a lot of banging back there. Oh, no, and that's the problem with Matt Shanowski. I think it might have... Oh, and he made contact there with the 36 as they were trying to get by each other, Joshua Banks. And then it caused this melee you see here on screen. We're going to go on board with Mark Herzog, and it's Alliance SK Modified, Soup.
Yeah, he brings that 57 car, was third to the scene, but it gets the worse for wear.
Just has nowhere to go here. I mean, you just can't react to that. You didn't know it was going to turn. It looked like initially the car might go to the right, but it snapped back to the left and then right into Herzog. Ouch.
He hit him straight on, though, so that's I've got to think that's got to be good for the 57 car. At least not going to damage the suspension.
Might be a little shorter.
All right, well, that's the third one. We're going to get these out of the way.
We always do, Sue. Trust me. We always do.
18 cars on the lead lap. Sarah Marie Spiller in the very back. Todd Liston is back out there.
We've only had one driver take it behind the wall, and that's Michael DiCarlo.
I'll tell you right now, Liston's 87 car, the Pepsi machine, looks really pretty. So something tells me that one maybe is a fresh vehicle after the altitude he had.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Soup. Yeah, the last time I took a serious look at that car, it was crab walking its way to the pits.
It's one of the things without that inertia buffering. It kind of sounds like something from Star Trek there, but the cars tend to bounce a lot here. That's coming, though. I've seen some of the... You've all seen it, Sean. We've all watched it, the new Crash model that's coming eventually. Boy, that looks good. Cars hit the wall and yeah, pieces fall off.
And actually fly apart, yeah.
Yeah, and the car doesn't bounce like you're dropping a Hot Wheel on the kitchen floor. That's the best way I can describe it.
The demo video is great. It's just what they did to that poor Skippy. They hurt that poor Skippy.
Yeah, that's a...
Why are they picking on the Skippy? Couldn't they have experimented with another car, Sue? I'm just saying.
That's the cheapest open wheeler they could afford to crash. All right, so out in front, J.R. Shepard. Now I'm going to date myself here a little bit. I talked about the 14, of course. That reminds me of A.J. Foyt, but when I see the 98, and I'm going to really have to, I don't know if anyone's going to get this reference. I think of J.C. Agajanian used to race the 98 car, used to put that out for his drivers. I don't know if anybody remembers that name. Always used to put a car, take it to Indy.
That one escapes me, Sue. I believe J.C. Agajanian might have been the owner of Ascot Park.
If I could be wrong on that one, but he always used to take a car to Indianapolis and race it in the 98 machine.
We've got a little bit older demographic that watches here, Soup, so we'll need someone to chime in here. Get us in the chat.
All right, the pace car is in. We are working lap 22. It's going to be 23 when we go to green. Look at the start that the number 98 gets this time. There he goes. Chris Panini on the top. Looks like he's going to be able to hold on to second. Trying to get down there is Kenny Kibbe. Look at the momentum on the top for Dustin Power. Powers is going to literally power around Kibbe. Oh, we got another one.
They're all stacked up back there. Oh, and it started with contact there. The 99 up in the air, up under the 36, or the 36 up under the 99.
Yeah, the 99 was turned around. He was the 66 for a while.
That's James Lowe, and just a tap is all it took from Joshua Banks. Boy, a bunch of cars involved in that as we go above here. 99's that black car up top, and you see the contact with the blue and white 36 there. Banks.
Banks had low just in his lap here for a while.
It was just a tap, but everybody's got to scramble. That's Herzog up there again, Soup Herzog.
Well, the car wasn't short enough. He's going to punch another driver.
On board with Lowell Jewell here. Over with the boss. He's going to get an eye full and right through it. Lowell Jewell, not a scratch on the car.
Driving right through that. As did Sarah Marie Spiller. Man, she took that car right through a lot of chaos. Good job from her.
And I will tell you, James Lowe, Soup, took his fast repair. But you know what? Let's take a quick break here on the Global SimRacing Channel. We'll be right back with the action.
All right. You want Saturday night short track racing? Who you gonna call? Well, it's the Global SimRacing Channel, bringing you this Bootleg Racing League round number 9 here from Lucas Oil Speedway, which is in Indiana, not Missouri, for those of you paid attention to the intro. We're working lap number 28. It'll be 29 as they cross the finish line. J.R. Shepard out in front, doing what he does. Chris
fired up and running. Yeah. Bassini again getting the hole shot there on Dustin Powers, able to power around him from the top side.
Powers up into third. Kibbe, who started on the pole, is now back into fourth. They're single file, but they race 2 by 2 a little farther back. The first car, Kurt Smith, stuck on the low side. the 37 car of Lowell Jewell. Wait a minute, that's the 3 car. What's Lowell Jewell doing in the 3?
He's in the 3. He changed to the 3.
Oh. If I would have known he's not in the 55, I wouldn't have come back. All right, Lowell.
Actually, he went from the 55 to the 5 down to the 3, Sue.
Oh. Well, he's going to run out of numbers if he keeps going that way. But
See what, talking about running out, Kenny Kibbe's going to run out of luck here because here comes Donnie Moore. Donnie Moore looking awful aggressive right there on the bumper. Laying a chrome horn going there just a little bit. It's got Tim Shinosky stacked up behind him. Donnie is getting a little impatient here 32 laps into this race. He's ready to go, go, go.
Yeah, it's been a lot of a yellow flag racing right now. These guys are ready to go up, put in some laps. They are single file now. How about Lowell Jewell? Started 13th, up in 7th. Good run from the boss. Love that shot. You can see the whole field there coming at you. Now they're going by. The back of Shepard's car says fast lane. I think they've figured out where the fast lane is. Everybody up top.
Piscini is following right now. It's all he's got to do here. Just keep JR close, keep him driving hard, keep him working on those tires, keep the threat there, and maybe Piscini here late has a chance to pull off a great move on JR Shepard. But these two doing the right thing up front while everybody else behind him is really just still kind of locked up in a bit of a battle. Kibbe still trying to hold off Donnie Moore. Donnie Moore looking over his shoulder at Tim Shinosky. It's a little ways back to Lowell Jewell.
One of the beauties of this series is each race. Oh no, we got a spinner, we got trouble. It's Chris Wolfson.
Oh, Sarah Maria Spiller and Wolfson.
James Lowe involved in it as well.
All of that down under the racing line, and it started with contact between the 99 and the 7. Sarah Maria Spiller, the innocent victim, nowhere to go
innocent.
there.
Sarah!
We're going to go on
board
with
her. Right on board with her.
She's going to get pinched down here into this wreck.
Minding her own business. She's got this low line.
Yeah.
That's just rude.
They all decide to tow out of that. We stay green.
Sarah's car is smoking in pit lane now.
Yeah, they're all going to have to wait on that tow in while this stays green.
Boy, that is truly salt in the wound. Not only are you involved in an incident, but then you spin off and you don't even get the benefit of the yellow flag where you can use your fast repair.
Sue, Donnie Moore is applying liberal use of the chrome horn to Kenny Kibbe.
Or in the 26. I don't blame him. Kibbe is the right now the
more horn.
The cork in the bottle of moonshine is what's going on right now. Moore's got places to go. Gets to be a jug. For this would be the cork in the jug here for this series.
Soup, we got a lot of people watching. I want to give a shout out to everybody watching on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch. Yes, we're on Twitch. We got a bunch of people watching over there right now, interacting here, watching the race.
Well, that's good. We hope they're enjoying the show. If you don't worry. The regular crew will be back next time. Boy, look at this battle. There he goes.
More. He knocked again and said, "This time I'm going, buddy."
He made a suggestion that maybe
Kibbe
could take a little higher line there. Yep.
Don't you knock 3 times and then bang on the pipe, Sue? I think
you do. Going with Tony Orlando and Dawn. Oh my gosh. Boy, but he cannot finish it right now.
No, he can't. Kibby's fighting hard, man. Nerf bar to Nerf bar, all the way through 1 and 2, down the back stretch.
Gibsonowski back. Oh, no, they touch! He turns
in front of everybody. Lowell keeps going somehow. Lowell gets through that. Look at this suit. Now Moore is up here. They got Shinosky there on the bottom.
That's the chrome horn to the max. He just shoved him out of the way and then was kind enough to straighten him out so that the yellow didn't come out.
Wow, this is just crazy. And Donnie just lays the chrome horn there to Joshua Banks.
Uh-oh. And it's going on here. We got Kibby involved in it.
Well, they tried to make it 3 wide there. Herzog, Kibby, and the 19 of Dwayne Burns. Burns, the only one that's going to win on that deal.
And Todd Liston. Oh, Todd.
Man.
He was on his roof again, yeah. Now, the car didn't quite go all the way over. Todd Liston, the last car coming in, he gets into Herzog, who was just kind of sitting there. Herzog in the yellow car.
Liston might actually get some air miles before the night's over.
Frequent flyer miles, absolutely.
Yeah. Hope he flies American. I hear they're paying really good miles right now. But now you see those 3 get hooked up there. And that's another incident for Herzog. It's been a tough night for him, too.
All right, I can attest for my brief time in these cars, they like to turn left when they're supposed to turn left, but they really don't like to. They're not all that agile. Let me just put it that way. And they don't blow up real quick either.
No, they don't. They are a little heavy on the braking. One of the things, one of the tricks is setting up the SK modified, any modified is getting the car to rotate, getting it to turn. They don't have a very large turning radius at all, Soup. In fact, well, because of that, it's a little hard to get that car turned around in the middle of the track, if you know what I mean. 360 turns aren't the easiest thing to do in an SK modified.
And somebody getting the wave around there. I think it looks like Justin Allen going to get the lucky dog.
Well, just like that, Soup, we are now approaching the halfway point of this race. We've picked up a few cautions along the way, but we still got a lot of competitive cars left in this field, and, well, a familiar name still at the top of it, and that's J.R. Shepherd.
How about the driver in 4th? We really haven't talked much about him. Joshua Banks, up 8 spots.
Again, I'm not sure I know exactly what to think of that at this point. Poor Joshua's been involved in several incidents, either been the victim of or maybe been the aggressor a couple of times, but somehow it's worked out right now to riding up in 4th, and he'll have to start from the outside with Dustin Powers on his inside. And Dustin, I'm going to be honest, has struggled a little bit on these restarts from the inside. We saw what Chris Bassini was able to do around the outside there on Powers. Let's see if Banks can take advantage of that and pick up another spot on this restart.
Other drivers that have been spending a lot of e-tickets. Todd Liston, he's been involved in a lot of stuff. Mark Herzog. I've just given up trying to be current on my references now. E-tickets go way back. Google it. It's how I used to go to Disneyland. They used to give you a whole bunch of tickets that you could spend. And the e-ticket was for the big rides.
Now they have, I think, what is called hot passes. I think is the in vogue thing for Disney.
Get in line, they give you a massage and an ice cream cone, and the next thing you know, you're on the Matterhorn.
Nobody knows what the Matterhorn is. Sorry, nobody knows what that is.
I give up, man. Oh.
Here we go. Ready to do it out of turn 3.
Watch the start that Shepherd gets. Let's see if Bassini can time it this time. Now, Bassini, now! Oh, no.
Boy, Piscini fell asleep on that one just a bit there, Soup. Oh, and he's right there off the bumper of Shepard. No, watch out. Here comes that 36 we talked about. He's trying to get around the 25. Not happening. Banks powers side by side into turn 1.
And that is Dustin Power. He does not want to give up. Oh, he's going to push him out of the way. That's how you make a room on the top side. Banks got escorted up a little bit higher than he wanted to. More banging, but we're still racing. Well, we crossed the halfway point. Junk Rubber Shepherd out in front. This is when he starts to shine, when the tires get old.
Still some interesting battles going back through the field. John Hine just working out a pass on Dwayne Burns. Burns still hanging in there just outside the top 10 right now in 11th. A 10th place finish would put him next week.
That's the beauty of this series, where one race leads into another. Each race has a cliffhanger. Dwayne Burns in 11th. Boy, one position means starting on the pole next time, or starting with 10 drivers in front of you. John Hine, Dwayne Burns, that battle for 10th. The guy stuck on the low side was Tim Shanowski there. He finally finds a spot up as Lowell Jewell continues to move that number 3 forward, Sean.
Well, yeah, and that brings the brothers back together here on track. And Soup, they've really not been able to make up a lot of ground tonight, which is a bit of a surprise. They've both been really, really strong this season. Tim, especially of late, has been the stronger of the two, but man, I got to be honest, I'm a little surprised at their pace right now. Still a long way to go. They've got plenty of time to get this done. They could be saving those tires.
Yeah, the slower the brothers has to pay for the Subway sandwiches. And right now, Matt Sanowski
he's on the hook.
He's getting his punch card filled quickly, as he's had to buy a lot of them of late. Tim's been getting the best of them. J.R. Shepard and Chris Piscini now beginning to pull away. And one of the dynamics of this thing is you don't want to use your stuff up. There's no real reason to pull away until you get to this part of the race. Uh-oh, we got more trouble? Nope, we're still going.
I don't think we have any trouble. I think we're okay.
I hear some banging. It could be people just having some problems in pit lane.
Yeah, they could still be working on a few cars down there, actually. I know Herzog, well, no, Herzog, they took theirs behind the wall.
I think I was hearing some sledgehammers going to work down there, banging the car out.
Boy, they will put a sledgehammer to a modified. I've certainly seen that in action before. Nice. Sometimes you bend up those Nerf bars so much you just got to take them off, Soup.
Nice battle for 5th here. Try as he might, Lowell Jewell trying to get underneath. He takes a stab, he just can't finish it.
Banks has been awful good this evening. Another one of the, well, all right, he's picked up just as many spots as Lowell has. They both picked up 7 spots, but Banks right now, with very little traffic in front of him, has really, really got the line dialed in, and that just makes it near impossible for Lowell to get any kind of a run at him here.
Gets a good run out of 4. About a car length back. Lowell, a very aggressive driver, but a very polite driver. If you can put those two characteristics together.
Hey, we had a driver back in the day, Mr. Gentleman Jim Hendrickson. Was tough as nails. He'd wave at you when he was passing by you. One hand on the Nerf bar, one hand on the wheel, and he'd take that one hand and he'd wave at you.
Rapid Broy, that stock car boy is too much to believe. He has an extra pack of cigarette rolled up in his t-shirt sleeve.
Boy, Liston just trying to hang on back here as he continues to drop back through the field and let everybody go by. Right now, it's all about finishing this race for Todd Liston at number 87 Pepsi SK Modified.
You saw him in the back there, Kurt Smith, take a peek.
He did.
At
He
Matt
took a
Shanowski.
peek. He did. He took a peek indeed. You know, the guy, I'm sorry, Sue, I was going to say the guy sitting in 10th right now, John Hine, who we've talked about very, very little, number 21, you know, he started in 19th place, started very back of this field, and right now Owen Smith stepping out, trying to make this move on Dwayne Burns just behind Hine. I'm sorry, not Smith, Kenny Kibbe, my bad.
That's Kenny Kibbe trying to make up for some of the issues that he had, and now he is up into 11th. He's not going to be able to get it. He has to settle for 12th. If Kibbe can get up to 11th, then he can make an attack on Hine and see if he can put that number 14 car back on the pole for the next race.
Oh, Lowell Jewell with contact on the wall coming out of 2. It opens it up for Tim Shanowski. Shanowski goes to the bottom. Shanowski trying to take this 6th spot away from Lowell Jewell. Shanowski tightened up a lot off the turn there, Sue.
Look at the momentum on the top side. There's just no way that they can make it last. And plus, you're using up your rubber there as Jewell able to fend him off.
Now we're running, baby. Now we're running, Sue.
30 to go, and they are lined up behind Joshua Banks.
Kurt Smith rolling up into that 9th spot. Hine's got to be careful. Burns right there on his top side trying to get by. Hine closes the door.
Kibbe takes a stab underneath Burns, has to blow it up and loses all of his momentum. Now let's go to 3rd because up front this is beginning to heat up. Donnie Moore, I think, now has ran out of patience as he's working on Dustin Powers.
I think Donnie ran out of patience back on lap 30, to be honest with you. Powers has been just good enough. This is where he's been all night, Sue. He hasn't been yet. Go ahead.
Yeah, you have to stay on board to get a true feeling of what's going on because the passes are set up 2 or 3 laps. Moore sits back, he saves the stuff, he pulls off his tires, and he makes another stab at it. He's done it 2 or 3 times. He's going to try it again. It just hasn't worked for him yet.
Piscini starting to tighten this grip a little bit on J.R. Shepherd Soup up front. It's close now. Piscini knows it's time to maybe get a little bit busy as we get to the 25 laps to go here at the line. Piscini took a peek there out of 4.
I'm going to jump you around a little bit. Can we go to 10th, side by side? This is for that important position on the low side. Oh, the lead. Oh, look at
this. Piscini giving him all he's got.
I love it. Now we'll leave that quick to P10 as this was Burns underneath.
Oh, they're still fighting.
Burns has been working on him for 2 or 3 laps.
Ooh, and Burns gets a little loose there and down the straightaway. Almost makes contact with Hine. Hine up right up against the wall almost.
Burns may not be able to lead into corner 1, but he's got a shot maybe to lead at the start-finish line coming out of 4.
Man, if anything happens in front of these guys, they've got big trouble because they are fighting hard. Lowell Jewell trying to hold off this angry horde of the Shanowski brothers. Kurt Smith still digging. Smith going under Shinosky. Matt.
Again, he can get there, but there's no room for him to pull up, and he'll have to lose that spot. Boy, it's exciting racing back there. It is close racing up front as well, but those guys only can make an attempt like every 5 or 6 laps, and they have to wait again as we... Oh, my partner, we're getting to that magic moment.
Soup, J.R. Shepherd coming to the line. Let's drop that disco ball down, baby. It is time to boogie. Let's get this party going here with 20 to go. Piscini got to get moving. Come on, let's get that SK Modified Eastport Feed sponsored machine into victory lane. Let's make the boss happy. I don't think Wayne Anderson's watching, but he's definitely the boss when it comes to the Eastport Feeds Modified.
Has little Dr. Martha C. Baker on the side of that car. Well, I don't know if Dr. Baker has any patience, but right now Chris Panini is running out of them, as he is sitting behind Shepherd.
Did you just call him Panini?
I did.
Did you say Panini? I thought you know, all night I've been worried about you calling him Lanini, mixing it up with Chris Lanini from the Lionheart IndyCar series, and you just went Panini
baby.
on me. You just turned the poor guy into a sandwich, Soup.
Well, I got Kitty here and a Panini. It's all food related. All right, Piscini in second. Moore in fourth, looking on Powers. Nothing happening there. And back in 10th, John Hind continues to hold off to Wayne Burns. They try to pass, they just cannot finish the pass.
And Soup.
Oh, third place. Moore
Yeah.
shot alongside. Here we go.
Yes, here we go indeed. Donnie's been trying to get this all night. It seems like, does he have it? He finally does. Out of turn 2, Donnie Moore takes the spot.
No, I think Donnie Moore took a little bit, even if he's on the low side, I think he took a little higher line through there to make sure he had the best run, and he got around Powers.
Let's get the pass hit.
Powers
Powers made contact with the wall there. You see that on the replay, Soup. Can't scuff off speed in these cars.
Well, that's what you do. If you're Donnie Moore, you just sit back there and you keep working, you keep working, you keep working. Donnie Moore in his traditional ASPCA car.
And right now, J.R. Shepherd's still being chased by Chris Piscini. Chris Piscini. Soup, Dr. Martha C. Baker.
Yes?
She is a dentist in Cinema Riches, New York. Local business owner there.
Yeah. There you go.
It always got to get that information out, so we don't want to leave any questions. Right now, the question is, can Chris Piscini pull this off and somehow find a way to get J.R. Shepherd behind him before this race is over? Soup, they've got Todd Liston up in front of him, who's still moving a little bit off pace. I don't think he's going to be a factor. I think Todd will gracefully get out of the way.
All right.
They've really dropped the rest of the field behind
they
them. It's
have
all this show belongs to them at this point. Donnie Morris trying to work out a podium finish.
Boy, Piscini doing a good job on the back of Shepherd. Moore looks comfortable in third. We'll focus our attention up front here for a while. Piscini been saving his stuff.
Yeah, he has. He's gonna try and take a run at it here. Don't use it up too soon, Chris. This is the closest Chris has been to winning one here.
Oh, Pasini is right on him now. Right there, just a car length behind. Tucks right in behind.
Oh.
On him, tighter than a scuba suit on a fat man as they come across the line. 8 to go. Pasini, with the name of a dentist on his car, trying to take a bite out of J.R. Shepherd. Down into corners 3 and 4. Mike Allen going to keep that car up high. Might have put it in the wall a little bit. I know it's rough. Here they come. 2 car lengths back for Pasini. There'll only be 1 line now.
Yeah.
Mike Allen's car has mass. It has to take up some space on the track. He's going to take it down low. That'll work. That'll work.
Yeah. Pasini's going to have to make this happen. He's going to have to take it from J.R. Shepherd.
Might need to do I don't think you can do a slide job. You might have to do a slam job. You might have to take it down in here and then.
It's kind of what I meant by take it away from him. He may have to throw the old chrome horn at him and see how it works out for him.
We'll focus our attention up here.
Right up.
He seems to be really good in 3 and 4. He's close. If he gets a good bite, oh my goodness, I think he's going to get a good drive off of 2. Watch out! Here he comes. He's a half car length back. This is the opportunity. Oh, it's only going to knock so many times, Chris. If it doesn't, you may have to chase it down the sidewalk and tackle it. 2 to go.
What a drive by Pasini this evening. Oh no, the caution's out.
He won't have a chance.
Oh,
Kibbe and Kurt Smith get together.
Lowell Jewell gets into that too. Oh, man.
And I think Dwayne Burns was able to skate across the start-finish line and get himself into 9th. Kibbe in 10th.
Kurt Smith here, and yeah, that's contact with Lowell Jewell. A little bit of a tip there on the left rear. Here we go, Sue.
Meanwhile, the pace car has come out. It has collected J.R. Smith. Opportunity knocked once, and then it didn't get a chance to knock again because the yellow flag came out. Let's give round number 9 of the Bootleg Racing League season 2018. The fall season goes to Chris Pasini.
No. Goes to J.R. Shepherd as our winner, Sue.
That's right, because Pasini is in second. See, he's behind the blue car. Don't worry, folks. I won't be here next time. J.R. Shepherd wins the race. As if I haven't called him as the winner before.
We talked about Pasini way too much, I guess. And Pasini laying the chrome horn to him there a little bit too late. But what a great race between those two, Sue.
All right. With that said, the racing is over. Unfortunately, I will be back to do more of this broadcast after the break. We'll talk to some of the drivers, run down the complete order of the field. We'll let Sean carry bulk of the way here to make sure we get through this thing without any more incidents. We'll be back in a Welcome back to the Global SimRacing Channel's coverage of the Bootleg Racing League. It is round number 9 from Lucas Oil Speedway. Let's give you the finishing order. He started in second. He was able to come home in the lead. It is J.R. Shepard. Chris Passini is going to get second position. Donnie Moore gets third. Back half of your top 5 is Dustin Powers and Joshua Banks. Then we'll go to the last half of your top 10. It's the Shanowski brothers, Tim in front of Matt. John Hine gets 8th position. Dwayne Burns able to snake in there for 9th. And Kenny Kivy will be starting on the pole just like he did this race next time around as he gets 10th. All right, Sean.
Funny how that kind of works its way out. Lowell Jewell going to wind up with an 11th place finish after honestly riding up near the top 5 most of this race. 12th going to go to Kurt Smith. Hard charging all race, but it doesn't work out for him this week. Mike Allen, a 13th place run for him. Justin Allen in the number 10 will finish 14th. Todd Liston, 15th tonight. Todd was, well, in hospital terms, in medical terms, we would call him a pincushion soup. 15th tonight for Liston. Sarah Maria Spiller picks up a few spots, hangs on to survive the finish of this race. She'll finish 16th. 17th for Mark Herzog. Tough night for Mark and the Alliance SK Modified. Chris Wolfson with an 18th place run. Not what he planned on. James Lowe, tough luck, out early. 19th place. And then Michael DiCarlo, the first car out tonight. He'll finish 20th soup. And well, we've got one driver waiting. But, you know, before we get to the interview, real quickly, I want to let everybody know that's watching, the Bootleg Racing League still has spots open for their other Saturday night series, the Street Stocks and the Limited Late Models. Find them at bootlegracingleague.com, Soup, if you want to sign up. You know, you do good and perform well in those 2 series, and they move you up to the SK Modifieds for this race every Saturday night here on the Global Sim Racing Channel.
That's something you might want to check into. All right, we are able to talk to the man that the commentators actually called as the winners because they weren't paying attention, but actually he had to settle for second, and this is Chris Passini. Chris, congratulations, boy. If it would have stayed green, did you have something for Shepard there in those last couple laps?
I was able to match his speed, basically, even throwing it in a different line, because I think about 20 laps into a run, the entry actually really opened up where you could just full throttle into the middle lane and ride the brakes, and it'll hold, and you can keep the same speed coming off. So I was doing that because I lost about almost a second to him at the beginning of the restart, and I was able to start closing back in. So once I got to him, I tried it the one time, and it just got really tight throwing it in that little bit lower. So about 3 or 4 to go, I had a run on him down the backstretch going into 3, and I was thinking about throwing it in, but I wanted to wait until the white flag lap to try it. It probably wouldn't have worked out regardless if I did, but I was going to wait till lap 100 to throw it in there, but unfortunately the yellow came out too late.
Yeah, because then you only have to limp the car home around one corner before you get to the finish line.
Oh, exactly.
Well, it was fun to watch you do it. Let's talk about the tires. When you make an attack on the low side and you go at it for 2 or 3 laps, do you have to back off and let the tires cool off? Do they do that in this car, or do you burn them up and they're cooked forever?
It's really hard to try to pin it down to what it is, but after they cool down from a caution period, you could drive them almost like they're brand new again, but only for a handful of laps, and then the tires just get too much heat in them, and it gets tight no matter where you are. So it's kind of hard. This track was actually a little bit different than what we've been seeing, so it was kind of fun to see it.
Well, it was fun to watch you work, and it's great to see J.R. Shepard have to earn one of those victories. So good job making it honest. Yeah, that's right. Chris Passini, nice job on second. We'll keep an eye on you the rest of the way.
Thanks, buddy.
That's a fun interview. I like Chris.
Chris, good guy, man. And so is J.R. Shepard. We've caught up with him, and J.R., that's another one. That's 2 tonight. Is that 2 here at Lucas Oil this evening for you?
Yeah, I actually got all 3 tonight.
You got all 3, yeah.
Yeah, just very lucky.
That's what I get for not watching the first one, buddy. Listen, what an evening. But you had a lot of company behind you there, and Chris Passini, this driver, new to the Bootleg Racing League this season, but he seems to improve a little bit more every week. And had it not been for that caution flag, do you think he might have had something for you?
Oh yeah, there was definitely a chance there. We had that long green flag run, and I kind of got complacent running the same line that I'd been running, and Chris figured something out on that long run and was able to get through the corner a little bit better. So, been a while since I've been up front and had somebody behind me that made me have to rethink what I was doing and change my line. So he was extremely fast tonight, and great job by him.
Well, and it was another great job by you. Of course, that's really going to help in the points. You were leading by 15 coming into this race, and obviously you're going to lead by a few more heading out. With a couple races left, I guess I don't really need to ask you what the plan is. It should be pretty obvious. Just stay focused and do what you do, right?
Yeah, it's there's a couple of races left, and anything can happen. I think we saw that the last time that we raced back at Richmond. So a lot can happen. It's hard to stay focused and just stay clean out there on the track. And if we can do that, we'll be all right.
Well, we want to congratulate you once again on another victory. Always great to get a chance to talk to you, JR, and don't ever be afraid to come by for an interview, even if you're not on the podium, okay? Because you're always welcome here. So have a good one, and we'll see you next week, my friend.
Hey, I appreciate it. And hey, again, another shout out to Chris for the great job he did tonight, and Donnie for coming home third. And thank you guys.
All right, Soup. That is the great J.R. Shepherd. And boy, speaking of great, it is this driver. Yeah, he's pretty great himself. Donnie Moore with Soup.
Moore's got a couple championships under his belt. Donnie, one of the few passes we actually saw made on track today. Boy, you worked on Dustin Powers for a lot of time, and finally he makes a mistake. You were there to take advantage.
I'll tell you what, hats off to Dustin Powers. He ran a great race. I was trying to put a little pressure on him. I saw him tap the wall a little bit there. I had some momentum and was able to get by him. But hats off to him, and also JR and Chris. Chris was giving JR everything he could from what I could see. Wish you'd have got him got by him, but that's okay. Good job, Chris.
All right, Donnie, I want you to try to answer this as honestly as you can. You've been racing with J.R. Shepherd for a lot. You guys you're racing on the same track. The conditions are the same. It's fixed setups. Why is it reaction time? What makes JR just that little bit better than the rest of you guys? If you'll admit to that.
Absolutely. It's quite obvious. He's a little bit better than all of us. It's he has a technique. He has a great technique going in and out of the corners, brake, gas. I don't know what it is, but he has a great technique. In fact, if you listen to him, you ride around with him on a replay, his car sounds just a little different than everybody else is going into a corner. I don't know. He's good. He's very, very good and consistent and clean.
Yeah. It is a strange thing. I mean, you guys are playing with the same deck, but somehow he seems to get the better hand dealt to him every time. Well, Donnie, it was great to see you race. I always enjoyed. Good luck the rest of the way, and let's get a victory for the season.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Donnie Moore. If it was easy, Sean, I guess everyone would do it. J.R. Shepherd just has that secret sauce. He's just doing something in there.
Well, I think Donnie alluded to a little something there, Soup. It really has to do with driving style and sometimes in some of these cars with some of these drivers, they match up. Donnie Moore, like I said, I think he was honest so that J.R. Shepherd may be great in this modified and he may be just absolutely horrible in a GT3, but that's not important because this is where he races. This is where he races every Saturday night here with the Bootleg Racing League, and for as long as he stays in that SK Modified, I think anybody coming into the Bootleg Racing League has a high water mark to shoot for, indeed, in J.R. Shepherd.
I guess it's Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire. They're both good dancers, but they don't dance the same. How about one more old reference there before we wrap up the show? Thanks to the Bootleg Racing League for organizing the Outlaw Modified Series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast. We know we have a lot of choices when you fly. Thanks for flying GSRC. For more information about the Bootleg Racing League, try facebook.com/Bootleg Racing League or bootlegracingleague.com. On screen now are some of the equipment and software we use to stream cyberspace into your place. The original music that lets your ears alert your eyes, well, that you're watching a GSRC production, comes courtesy of Eric Eckelm and June Lalonde. See the screen to how to contact each of them. The Bootleg Racing League returns for round 10 in 1 week, December 8th. From the Bull Ring, GSRC will be there to say ole, and we hope you join us. Sliding across your screen now are some of the upcoming broadcasts, so check them out and mark them down on your calendar. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, including a complete list of future broadcasts, you can find it at globalsimracingchannel.com or check us out on social media. Got a lot of choices. How about Twitter at GSR Channel, Facebook at Global SimRacing Channel, and Instagram at GSRC_Graham. Also, if you haven't done so yet, become a YouTube subscriber by hitting the big red button on our YouTube page. Finally, on behalf of the entire crew, Sean, Amjed, and Dougie, I'd like to thank all of you for watching as J.R. Shepherd picks up another win here at Lucas Oil Raceway. With that said, I'm off to put a new ribbon in the typewriter, put on an 8-track tape, and maybe fix the spoke on the wagon wheel. And then we'll have some fun storming the castle. Until next time, race hard, race clean, and we'll see you on the track.